we have seen that there is a report saying that the children are forced to separate from their parents. What's your take on that? The so-called we force the children in Xinjiang to take a boarding school and separating from their families. This is truly lie. We talk about because of the geographic features, the student we had a long way to schools, and also their families had a big issue and difficulties in sending their kids to school and taking them back home. We had around 400 boarding schools covering the primary school and the middle schools. And with the urbanization and the rural revitalization advancement, and also based on the local needs of the students as well as the safety of transportation, we had already plans in a reasonable manner. We strictly follow the standards in place made by the government. For each boarding school, it has equipped with the sufficient resources. For the teachers, after the training and also the hands-on experience in the other places, in other provinces, the fund for the boarding schools are paid by the government. For the compulsory education, their tuition and expenditure at schools are free of charge. And they also enjoyed the specific allowance subsidies. And the elementary school, they had 1,200 subsidies, and for the student at the middle school, they received 1,500 yuan subsidies per year, so help to lower the burden on their family. And they actually chose make this choice either with the boarding school or not based on their own willingness. We never force the students separating from their parents. For students in boarding schools, they go back home every weekend. The early Monday, they back to school. The Friday afternoon after the school, they go back home. And also for the winter and the summer holidays, and they also back home. And also allowed the apply for leaving. And we also have the phones installed at each floor, and they always can make phone calls to their family. And the teacher in charge of the class, their phone information, contact information also available to their parents. So the parents always can make contact with the school teachers. So there's no so-called forcing separation between the family members and their children. I also invite a special guest from the school to show you more details. Hello to all. I'm actually the family member of. I have 2 kids. And 2 kids actually in the boarding school, and also my wife is a teacher at school, and I work in other places, and my wife needs to teach at school, and actually it's very busy for her to teaching at the schools while taking care of the 2 children. So that is why we send our 2 kids to the boarding school. The tuitions, the other expenditures, and also the dorm cost all covered. So it's free of charge. So the boarding school actually provided enough studying time. The time for going to school, back home, all saved. And students also had a well-planned timelines for students. At the same time, they also provide a lot of extra curriculum activities. So the kids actually have the good habit in living their own life, managing their time. And also the teachers and the classmates also help each other. So you can see my kids actually right now have a really good grades. Studying in boarding schools set assured the parents, so that also save us some energy and time. Here, I would like to call on to the people making lies. My wife is a teacher. The boarding school is good or not, we know exactly the fact. If it's like what you said, how is it possible that we send our kids to the boarding schools?